Hello Beauty News family, welcome to Beauty News for February, although this is going to be going up on the 1st of March.
For us.
Having like,
not the rest of the world.
Us.
We still just made it in.
Correct. We are future people, but it's just due to our filming schedule and our publishing schedule. It is what it is. It's a funny month. So we're going to chat about new release beauty stuff. We are gonna kick off with some crap. Maybe you won't think it's crap. Maybe it's fun for you. But oh wait, housekeeping. My name's Hayley.
I'm Kat.
This is Kat.
Hi.
Yes. That saves Kat from having to annotate, or me from having to annotate. Hello, this is Beauty News. We talk about new stuff in the beauty release world, but we actually want to start with some like silly releases this month, and we're going to talk about Nails Inc. releasing a McDonald's collection. I saw this and my eyes rolled so hard it hurt.
Can I also say though that I quite like McDonald's and I quite like that red.
I love McDonald's. I love McDonald's so much. It is one of my favorite takeaway meals. Give me a fillet of fish burger any day of the week.
It's my long drive, like reward yourself for driving so long somewhere. It's just like, we're doing it. We're getting Macca's.
Yeah. For me, like also a Macca's breakfast, like it just holds so many memories for me, especially when I was a kid. So, you know, having hash browns available all day long, that's really important to me these days. Yeah. But what we've got are some like press-on nails, and I'm just going to say I don't like these.
Ugly.
I don't. Yeah,
So
I just
ugly.
feel like it could have been done so much better. Like put all of the characters on there, like Grimace and Hamburglar.
I think they phased them out though.
I know, but why did they do that? They ruined it.
I heard that they
ruined
started
it.
phasing out Ronald when there were those people dressing up as clowns and scaring people. So
Yeah, you just got to ruin everything for us, don't you?
I know.
Far out.
I do quite like that
Rude.
they've gone the French tip for like French fries, but
I
the
think
packet
that
of
is
like
smart.
French fries on there is a bit on the nose.
It's a bit, yeah.
I like the stickers with like it's like layers of
Oh,
burger.
yeah.
I would have pickles
Yeah.
on my nails. Look, the more we're talking about this, the more I'm like, oh, it's not that
Oh,
bad.
I don't hate it. Yeah, it's not that bad. Look, for me, it's not something that I would buy. It's a little bit dicky. I think if you were going to do like, let's say you were going to work with like Ronald McDonald House or something like that, this could be really cute and fun. But besides that, I just don't really see a place in the real world where it's like, yes, this makes sense. It's just so left field that I'm like,
I still
no.
like that red,
but
though.
also,
I think that
sometimes
red's gorgeous.
yes. I think the way that they've done the red nails with like the burgers and the M sign and the French fries and stuff, it looks good. I actually like it. So
There you go.
I'm on the fence.
Can I just say though that offends me way less than this next thing, which is
yeah.
a phone case from Rhode, and this is it's got a little like, people are calling it like downstairs lips. It's looking a little bit. It's looking a bit like downstairs lips, but it's hugging on to like one of their lip products. So essentially, if you're a real big fan of their lip product, you can keep one in your phone case. And look, I feel like people are going to buy this because it's so dumb, but at the same time, this concept isn't so bad roll with me, guys. Just roll with me. It's
Stick
not
with
so
her for a
bad.
minute.
Please, just 1 minute, because I hate this. I really do. But I don't hate the idea of having something that you can attach your lip balm to, but for it to be like hugging the lip balm and for it to be a specific type. So this tube it's only going to fit this tube. Like that, I think is a really shitty idea. And obviously it's for the people that love this lip product, that they just want to have it with them at all times. But I really don't think there's many of those people, I'm just going to say. But this is ugly and it's gross. But I love the sort of trend that it's been... It started where you just get a lot of these brands just sticky taping their products to the back of phones to be like, you want a blush on your phone? Here you go.
That.
Yeah, so I think it's quite funny that, and I think even one of the brands, I don't know if it was on a Colourpop one, but there was a comment where they were like...
It was a Colourpop. I saw it.
Yeah, but they're like, the road to innovation spelt like R-H-O-D-E, and I was like...
O-D-E.
That's a good
I did
burn.
see that.
Yeah.
Look, this is not actually the first time that we've seen this. Now, I don't know if saying that is going to be a pain in the ass, because that means we have to find a photo and prove it, but we have seen phone cases with lip balms attached to them before. I think what I don't like about this is what Kat said, like this is specifically for this very specific lip gloss, like that's all it's going to fit, or the lip it's a peptide lip tint. That kind of annoys me. I hate the branding on the phone case. Hate it. I don't get behind that at all.
They should be giving these out for free so people can actually market for them. I think if you've got if you've got branding on merchandise and you charging people for the pleasure of it just blows my mind. No, just give it to people for free.
It ticks me right off as well. This should come free when you purchase one of the peptide lip tints. There is, like, they've got a post. Their Instagram caption says, meet the lip case compatible with iPhone and your favorite peptide lip tint. Plus, lip tints are finally coming back. Ridiculous. Like, these should, for starters, the lip product should have always been available, and the case should be free because you are promoting it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the price of it. I'm trying to look it up now. But what I also find annoying about that is that's implying that this is going to be redundant soon. They either can't keep it in stock, or it's a product that they sort of have in and out of stock. You're going to have this gaping phone case with these vagina lips on there. I just, no, it's a no. It's a no.
It's a no from us. Hailey Bieber fans will be into it. That's
$35. I don't know if that's Australian dollars or US dollars. $35. That's a get fucked.
No,
that's a get fucked.
Let's talk about... I think we might have to jump around for this, Kat, because we've got a lot of blush products.
We do.
And I think we should talk about them because... Our last video that went up was our like trend video, but we took a different angle with it and we talked about what online publishers were saying was going to be trendy. And we had a little bit of a gripe in that video because nobody talked about blush being popular. And the brands are saying, which it is very popular, because we're seeing blushes from a lot of brands available and a lot of like cream products. So we're going to go A to Z on this one, and Glaminatrix is the first. I'm going to let Kat take this because she's got the products.
I do. So they actually have cream blushes that are coming out. I'm not going to spruik them too much, but pretty much there's 5 shades. They're all very pretty. I'm wearing sort of the brownie one today. Beautiful.
They're beautiful. They look glowy too.
They're very pretty. I've been using them all. They're really pretty. But also they're releasing a palette. Now, as of filming this, they've just shown the outside, but I know by the time this video is up, they're going to show you the inside. So I may as well do it too. This is the Pretty in Pastels palette, which is what I'm wearing today. Nice. It's got a lot of that blue that you were talking about, Hailey, in the trends thing. And I've tried to incorporate it. Look, I'm trying to go a subtle blue.
Yeah.
But that's a new palette that's coming out. I think it's tomorrow or the day after when this is up. So that's the first cream blush thing. There are so many more. We'll get on to Glossier. They're not doing cream blush, or they're doing cream blushes. They've had cream blushes for a long time. Arguably, they had them before they were even really popular, and they were some of the most popular cream blushes for a very long time, the cloud paints. They're adding bronzers to the range. So this is out now. There are 5 shades available, and they go quite fair through to quite deep, which is really good. But yeah, they're just... it's the same formula, just bronze shade. So if you really like that formula, which I know a lot of people love, they're available now.
Moving on to Kat Von D, we have the Good Apple Longwear Blush Balm Duos and the Sculpt Balm Duos. So these are blush and bronzer duos. It doesn't appear that the blushes aren't mixed with the bronzers.
No.
The bronzers are separate. The blushes are separate as well. So we've got 4 shades of the blushes and 6 shades of the bronzers. I do think that the shade selection of the bronzers, like the colors that are in the pans and paired together, I think they're interesting.
Look, it looks like what they're doing is they're almost, and you can see this especially with a light shade, it looks like they've gone a warm shade and then like a cool
and
shade,
a cool
so
tone
a
shade.
bronze and a sculpt. So these are,
And
if you're
Sculpt,
if you're not paying attention, these are duo pans, so you're getting 2 colors in each pan with the blushes and with the bronzers. I have to say,
Yes.
I'm missing orange blushes. I want this to be an orange pan, but I love that they've gone purple. I know some people really love a purple blush. If you have the issue where pink blushes look really orange on you, you might want to try purples because that will take away some of that orange tone. And this is, look, the reason why I think this is a smart idea is I know some people really like the Good Apple foundation balm thing, and I quite like the idea. I'd love to see more brands do this. Actually, and I don't know if this is what they necessarily claim, but this is what it sounds like. If you're taking a formula that's similar to your base product, theoretically, the blush and bronzer should incorporate beautifully with your base.
Yes.
So I love the idea. Like, imagine if the brands, like even I'm thinking some really cult foundations, imagine if they brought out like a liquid bronzer or blush or highlighter that's designed to work specifically with that foundation. I think it would just make things so much easier. I like that they're expanding out their balm sort of foundation product into other face products. I think it is smart. And obviously there's going to be people that love their face products and go, okay, well, I love that, so I'm probably going to love this.
I think it's a really good idea as well. This is actually also a technique that a lot of makeup artists use professionally, where they don't put foundation all over the face. They use products that have pigmentation that can help to cover up any imperfections, and they put the product where it's needed. So blush goes on the cheeks, bronzer and contour goes in the areas that needs to be, and then foundation is used to like blend those colors into each other, but not necessarily put all over the face all of the time. So I quite like that they're doing this as well. I know that the Good Apple line has been pretty popular and it's done well with consumers, so I'm down with this. Also, I kind of love a cream blush and bronzer. It's my go-to at the moment, so I love it. Keep going. Can
I also say those shades, if you look at the swatches, there is no way in hell the blush trend is going anywhere. This is just showing
it's not.
That they're leaning into bold blushes. So
absolutely,
the trends, you're wrong.
I do agree with you though that like I'm missing the oranges in this. You know, we've got some really beautiful mauvey colors, which I do love, and we've got those beautiful like vibrant purple and a beautiful plum shade and a bright red as well. I think that's really fantastic. But yes, you missed out on the oranges. If
and I had orange,
like
I would probably
and the orange,
to try.
Like the peachy oranges where it's like a light peach with a yellow underbase. Like, I think, look, you missed it, but it's fine.
I agree.
Because I still like it.
All right, the next blush release is by NudeStix. Now, I'm going to admit, I thought NudeStix were gone. I thought they
were
Me too. Gone. For some reason, in my head, I'm like, NudeStix is not a brand anymore.
It doesn't
but apparently
exist anymore.
Is. Apparently it is. But they've brought out Nudescreen blush tints. So these are SPF 30 cream blush products. And the good thing is they're multi-purpose products. So you can use them on the cheeks, eyes, and lips. And we were talking about this extensively in that trends video, that monochromatic makeup is all the rage. So if you wanted to buy one shade that suits you, so if it's like that tan shade or that peachy shade or the soft pink, you can wear it everywhere. And you're also getting layers of SPF. Now, should this be your only SPF? Look, it should go without saying that absolutely not. But the more SPF you put on, the better it is for your skin. So I'm all for this. I think it's a really smart move. I know they're not the first brand to do this. There's going to be people going, oh, Japanese and Korean makeup have been doing this for a long time. Yeah, there's brands that have been doing these products, but I'm just glad to see more of it, if that makes sense.
It should be the norm.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really like the shades available. So they've got a nice variety. There's like a nice mauvey shade. There's some soft pinks. There's a sun-kissed one, which is like that warm terracotta, similar to what I'm wearing today. So a bit browny, a bit terracotta. And then you have like a strawberry and a peach. Like they have a nice variety here. So this has made me look at NudeStix the first time in years, and I'm glad that they're actually breaking out from the stick thing, because they were just like, everything has to be in stick form. Well, I'm glad that they're giving it a shot and trying something else. I'm hoping these do well, or the formula is really good, because I like where this is going. I like this.
It feels fresh from the brand, which is what I like about it as well. I do have one thing that sits in my mind and niggles at me about this. NudeStix is a US brand, I believe, which is fine, but I'm wondering if this will still be SPF 30 rated in Australia, because it won't be. No, I don't think so. So there'll be an image up that says recommended by the Skin Cancer Foundation for daily use. I can only assume that's in America. I'm guessing this would be like an SPF 15 for us.
What will happen in Australia is they won't want to pay to get it tested to be rated SPF 30. So what they will do if they release it here, they may not release it here at all. But often what brands do is they actually put a sticker over it and they say SPF 15, because you can claim SPF 15 on pretty much anything, because it's a not very effective level of SPF that they're like, you can use it on water, not quite. But they can use it on things without it being tested. If you start claiming anything above that, you need to actually have it verified for our conditions, which is very hard to meet. So, this is likely, it might not come to Australia, or if it is, it'll probably have modified packaging and just drop down that SPF to 15.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, last blush thing that we're talking about. There's obviously more blush releases because blush is not going anywhere, but the one that sort of piqued my interest this week was the new shade releases from Patrick Tar. So these are the spring shades of the major headline Creme and powder blush duos. So the new shades, they're very pretty. There's one called Not Too Much, which is a soft dusty beige. There's one called Just Enough, which is a soft blue pink. And then the last shade is She's the Moment, which is a peach shade, which I love. This is what I'm talking about. Give me oranges. I want oranges. I love this. They call Not Too Much, which is more of a browny sort of, I would call this like the Velvet Teddy of blush. It's got a little bit of rosiness to it, but it's sort of brown. They call it the blush next door, which I think is really cool because it's one of those, you can just throw it on. It gives you a bit of definition, a bit of color, but it's nothing like crazy. Then you have that sort of cool tone pink for people that love that pop of pink, and of course you have this sort of sun-kissed beautiful peachy. I love them. I haven't tried these, but I would try it for that peachy one. They're also expanding their major volume plumping gloss range. There's 5 new shades that have more pigment to them. So there is a soft milky pink, a soft beige, a toffee, a deep chocolate, and a deep wine, and they're all part of the spring 2024 collection. So pretty, I like them. Since we're talking about lips, let's just get on to some other lip releases. And the biggest one that I think, to me, this is probably the biggest one of the year for me. And obviously beauty news is about what we find interesting. So hey, you're going to listen to me rant about it. We're filming,
it's our channel. We're allowed to be selfish, all right?
Yes.
Let Kat talk about what excites her.
Yes, let me go. And also infuriate me a little bit. But MAC have taken them matte bullet lipstick range that has been around since the 80s. Now I do believe they've changed the formula a couple of times, but I think the formula they've got now has been around since the 90s. That's a long time.
Wow.
That's a long time.
A long time.
They're
2024, guys.
it.
That's 34 years ago.
Yeah, they're changing it. And they've changed it. So the start of the month, they launched the new formula, which is called Maximal Silky Matte Lipstick.
I hate it.
Which I hate the name. They've changed the packaging. No. The packaging is different. And they've got 40 famous and all new shades. So your favorites, but this is the thing that's interesting, right? It sounds like they're getting rid of the retro matte as well, because they've got Ruby Woo in this formula. People are going to go nuts. Okay. They're going to lose the plot. They've also expanded the Velvet Teddy thing, and they've got a new shade called Warm Teddy. It's not replacing Velvet Teddy. Velvet Teddy is in this. So a lot of your favorites are back, plus some new ones. But I am I have been stalking the MAC website because my two favorite lipsticks, Velvet Teddy for nude and Lady Danger for a red, I luckily have backups, and they were selling the old formula for like a period of time. It was like 40% off. They were trying to clear it out.
Oh, nice.
But I've been stalking the Australian website. It's not there. They're not giving a date. I went into store the other week and they said March. Motherfucking March. We're a month behind minimum, and I really want to buy the new ones to compare and see what they're like, because from what I've heard, these feel a little bit more like the Powder Kiss in terms of that silicone sort of effect on the lips.
Yes.
They're supposed to be longer wearing, more pigmented, more comfortable, but I don't know. I've been trying MAC's newer formulas, and I even took some screenshots, which I might have on the screen, of reviews from the Australian website. The MAC matte formula has so many good reviews. Their newer formulas, not so much. So why would they do this? I'm just assuming they're trying to update their formula to keep it sort of relevant. But I am concerned that this might be a bad move.
Yeah. Look, I also want to say, look, it's been a long time since I've purchased a MAC lipstick, and I'm not the best person to speak on their matte formula because I can't wear it. But the swatches that have been put up, like the images of them, they don't look very matte to me, which tells me that they probably are that like silicone, doesn't feel as dry formula, but they're not actually hydrating either. It's just silicone, which makes them feel slippy, which is that really a good thing for the MAC matte formula? Because the reason why it was loved and had cult status amongst beauty lovers literally all over the world is because it fucking stays on the lips. Like, it doesn't budge.
Some did though, because I've got a huge collection of matte lipsticks. Yes. I've got a huge MAC matte lipsticks, and I have tried some formulas that are really, really good, and it does vary from shade to shade. The retro matte are the ones that have like that clay in it. It's almost like that powder effect, so they really last. Their normal matte lipsticks were quite creamy, but they were kind of thick because they were so creamy.
Right.
They reminded me a little bit of a more matte version of the Hourglass Confession lipsticks, that they are quite like thick on the lips. So I think what they're trying to do is make them thinner, because and this is just my theory, is that I think the Powder Kiss and their sort of more silicone ranges are doing really well in the Asian markets, and I sort of feel like they're trying to modify this one to sort of I've also heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard some people theorize that possibly this is going to be a merger of Powder Kiss and matte, and they might eventually get rid of Powder Kiss. I don't know, but they're changing up something. In my world, it's a big thing because I use their lipsticks all the time. And I just know that even when people dirty on MAC and they're hating on MAC, they always go, oh, but I still love their lipsticks. And it's like, well, you're getting rid of that goodwill. So I don't know why they're doing this. I feel like it might be just updating like ingredients and potentially just wanting to appear a bit more innovative. But I'm wondering if this is like the new Coke thing where they're like, oh, we're trying to compete with Pepsi, and then realize, oh, hey, we shouldn't do that. Let's go back to the original. I'm just curious. I reckon they're going to stick this one out because MAC tend to make decisions and just not go back from them. But I don't know until I've tried them, and unfortunately I can't try them until motherfucking March.
Yeah, look, I'm going to say two things. One thing, it's very Australian-centric. Kat, do you remember when Arnott's Shapes was sold and they changed the formula? And our whole country absolutely flipped.
We got our pitchforks out.
Everywhere. We did. We were ready to set this shit on fire and burn it to the ground. You know what they did? They went, whoa, okay, we get it. You love that, and it's been on shelves for decades and decades, and we are going back to the original formula. But I have to agree with you. I don't think that, like, Estee Lauder owns MAC. I'm correct in that? I don't think they're going to backtrack on this one. I think they are going for it. And I just hope that MAC lipstick lovers still like the formula, but I think it is so slack that they are releasing it in March when it's already been released in other countries. You're a global brand. You're not an indie brand. Sort your shit out.
Even then, indie brands would launch it worldwide from the jump. So
exactly.
I'm pissed off.
Work it out. Yeah.
But I'm definitely on my channel going to be doing a comparison, like literally, like Velvet Teddy and Lady Danger half, and wear them throughout the day. I'm going to do that for multiple days to see how I'm going to give you my opinion, because I've been wearing these lipsticks for like, I think I bought my first MAC lipstick, I was in high school, and I'm turning 38 this year. So I'm coming up to 20 years plus of being familiar with this formula. So I'm going to tell you what I think. So that it is big news for me, and that's why I wanted to talk about this one first. But we've got other lip news as well, don't we, Hayley?
We do. All right, so the next lip product that we're going to talk about is actually coming from Pat McGrath, but in collaboration with Marc Jacobs. This is interesting. I thought it, based on what I saw online, the discourse around it caught a few people by surprise, but they are, so Pat McGrath is releasing a red lipstick to celebrate Marc Jacobs. Now,
40 years of the brand.
40 years of the fashion line, and it's called Forbidden Love, and it's a classic red shade. In a matte trance. Yeah, re-promote in a matte trance formula. I think it looks nice enough. They have, Marc Jacobs printed on the outer packaging of the lipstick. So if you like Pat McGrath lipsticks and you're a fan of Marc Jacobs, specifically their fashion line, and you love red, this could be one for you.
I'm just going to say, I would have loved Marc Jacobs to have come out and said, to celebrate 40 years of Marc Jacobs fashion, here's my own bloody lipstick, because I just think this is weird. It feels like a bit of a cash grab. This is obviously one of those situations where they're just mates. I reckon they're like, they know each other, and I reckon Pat was just like, hey Marc, let's do this. He's like, sure, buy the fuck up.
The reason why I felt it was important to put the Marc Jacobs Pat McGrath lipstick in the folder was because I actually really wanted to talk about the next thing that releases from Pat McGrath, and it is a new eyeshadow palette that isn't new at all. It's a Mothership Divine Rose 2 Heart's Desire edition. It's a re-release.
It's a re-release with the Valentine's Day packaging on it, late to the party.
Yes, late to the party. And also they've put the price up, apparently. So I believe they were $120 or $130, and now it's $150.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat. Oh God, look, I think when I see these palettes re-release from Pat McGrath now, my favorite place to be is the comment section, because sorry, but look, I want to see something fresh from the brand and not re-releases in new packaging, especially not with the price increase. Like, read the room. It's not the time for it. That's probably my biggest issue with it.
But the interest rates on Pat's mansion has gone up with her mortgage, so she needs to pay it off
God.
like the rest of
And
us.
here's the thing.
We're all doing it hard.
We're all doing it hard. We are. Here's the thing, you know, we talk about these releases, and some people in the comments are really upset with us. But if we don't talk about it, people are also really upset with us because they're like, why didn't you just call out the Pat McGrath thing? And I'm like, because it's a double-edged sword. But I feel like we are doing the beauty community an injustice by not talking about it and shedding light on it. Because if you don't know, then you're potentially going to buy something that I think is a rip-off, and we need these brands to do better.
I agree. All right, probably the eyeshadow palette set, from what I've seen, has had the most talk about them over the last month have been the new, what Huda Beauty call game-changing creamy obsession eyeshadow palettes. So they're saying they took a huge risk in creating a palette with only creamy shades. But honestly, these palettes are going to be your new favorites. I actually can't believe how obsessed I am. Obviously not me. That is
She always
Huda.
does this.
Yep.
She always does this.
So these are your standard sort of 9-pan palettes that she's been bringing out since the dawn of time. But they're almost all cream or sort of putty-like formula. This is not the newest concept. We've seen all cream palettes, but this is obviously new from her, and I think it's also, she's been reading the room. I think a lot of people are vibing this. Essentially in the palette there's 8 creamy textures and 1 setting powder. So there is one that's a powder and it's used to sort of set any cream areas if you want to. But even the shimmers, like I'm just going to say, if you zoom in on this texture, some look much creamier than others. Some just look like almost like a moist shimmer rather than a cream, but they all have some wet element to them. And there is a greige color story, which people are going crazy for because cool tone nudes, like,
it's not greige though. I have to call
mauve.
this out. This is mauve. This is, I'm doing it. We're going back. We're going back to the past, guys. Do you remember when she brought out the new nudes and they were pink?
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yep. Yes.
She's doing it again.
But on models that I've seen, it can look a lot more grey. So I think it depends on your skin tone. Yep. Because on some people, these are going to look very grey. Other people, they're going to actually look quite purple-ish. So and more brown as well. So it just depends on your skin tone. You should know, maybe no, I don't know. Anyway, the other one is neutral brown, which is similar to what you're saying. This is not neutral brown, it's warm brown. But whatever, people are really excited. These came out, listen to this, what brand that was staggering it? MAC. They launched worldwide 25th of Feb. So that was a good thing. But I've heard some people say that they've tried these creamy formulas from past palettes. So what she's done is had sort of the odd creamy shade dotted amongst bigger palettes, like powder palettes. Yes, some people love the formula and other people hate the formula and thinks it creases. So it just depends on your skin chemistry. Yeah. But if you haven't tried her cream formula before, I would probably, I don't know.
Err on the side of caution.
Yeah. That one, because I think they can look cool, and I think this is actually going to be a bit of a trend that might be coming up in the next few years, where I think the sort of dewy cheeks and the cream cheek products, people are going to start going to cream eye products. That's my prediction.
Look, I'm going to say it now, based on history with Huda, I feel like she is the ABH of 2022, 2023, 2024. Typically when she releases something, it is very on trend, and a lot of other brands follow her.
Or sets the trend.
Or sets the trend. And I'm not, look, I've got some Huda makeup and I like it, but there's other things she's released that I've not loved. So I'm not, in the camp of Team Huda all the time, but I think this could be a indicator or an indicator of what is to come.
I agree. Because we've seen a lot of cream, like stick products, tube, like liquid eyeshadows, but I think the palette of sort of putty cream, I think that is what's sort of on the verge of innovative. There's a sneak peek of the Denona Myrix. This is the Groundwork palette, the second one. So talking about putty eyeshadows. So these are palettes that have like a putty, like a dry putty, and then also a complementary powder. It looks like instead of all browns, this one is all sort of pinks, mauves, berries. So that is a bit of a sneak peek. I just thought I'd touch on that because it looks interesting. And I know that was a really well-received palette, which also makes me think sort of the putty palette formula is something that's
maybe going to be a thing.
Okay, more eyeshadow news. And there's always eyeshadow news because we love eyeshadows. But Melt, they're bringing back their neutral browns petite stack. So they're not letting the stacks go. That's what they sort of started their eyeshadows with. They transitioned to palettes because they were selling a lot more. And now they're coming back to stacks. But this stack has been around for a while, but they're bringing it back as well as a warm brown version. So if you want mini eyeshadows in little cardboard stackable things, you can get it from them. I know it's not going to be me, but maybe it's you. All right, on Valentine's Day, Nabla released, I guess, a new quad, but they're sort of, look, they do quads differently these days, but this is very pretty. It's called the Forget Me Not collection. It does have these sort of periwinkle matte purple and these beautiful sort of shimmery topper sort of purpley shades that can look blue on some. I don't know. It's pretty. I think it looks really pretty. I think it's really trendy. Some, like that white shade, has that beautiful twinkle that people are loving these days. But essentially what you do is these are single eyeshadows that you buy. You can buy them individually, or if you buy 4, you get the palette for free. And this is a system they have on their website. Yeah, so the purple palette is a limited edition one to go with this collection. You can either choose that one or you can choose some other color options. And if you don't like all the shades in this, of course, you can pick with it whichever singles from the range. But I think this is a very trendy collection. I think Nabla have nailed it with something that looks fun and something that I think can be quite wearable in combination with your normal makeup. And I think it just all the imagery just makes me want to get it. It looks really pretty.
They're super pretty, so sparkly. I do wonder if there's 2 shades in here that make me wonder if they're like pressed glitter formula. Nabla have released some pressed glitter palettes. I'm going to put my hand up straight away and say I actually really like them. I've got 2 of them that were sent in PR years ago. I think they're gorgeous. I know not everyone is into pressed glitter, and that's completely fine. And the fact that they allow you to, you know, sort of mix and match what goes into your quad and then give you the palette for free to house them. Fantastic. Rhode, are you listening? Nobody wants to pay $35 for your fucking phone case.
That's true. And I do think you're right with that formula. It's almost got that almost like a gel sort of cream base, and because they are saying that it's chunky glitter with no fallout and easy application. So pretty.
That'd be my guess. Yeah. Let's move on to Natasha Denona. Oh, I do love me a little bit of Natasha, but I do not love this. I'm just going to be straight up about it. They're releasing a new face palette. It's the Hyper Natural face palette. It includes eyeshadows, blush duos, and a bronze and contour trio. I don't like it. I don't like this split pan thing. How do you make that work? The blushes I think are fine. The eyeshadows are fine as well, although they're all shimmery, which I think is interesting. And then you have a split pan of like bronzer and contour, which you can use as an eyeshadow, which is fantastic. But how difficult is that going to be to use on your face if you're trying to actually bronze and contour?
Yeah, I would probably see this... I would probably use the blush and the bronzer just all sweep
Swirl
across
it.
the whole, the whole pan. And then
Yeah,
I would
me
isolate
too.
different colours as eyeshadows. Now, you might be thinking, oh my God, a Natasha Denona release that wasn't leaked. You're wrong. It was actually leaked at the end of January. So this is one that was leaked. But I'm going to say, initially I was like, this is ick. This looks a bit tacky. It looks a bit old school. This looks like sort of early 2000s makeup. But at the same time, the more I see it demoed, the more I actually don't mind it.
You think it looks
there are
nice?
some photos. I know some people are being concerned about this not suiting all skin types. Look, all face palettes aren't going to suit all skin types. It's impossible. But you can see how you can get smoky eye looks. You can get these sort of like delicate sort of shimmery eye looks. And the blushes are intense enough that they can be used on sort of medium to deeper skin. And I think this is kind of current in terms of the style that comes out of it. So shimmery, ethereal eye, sort of pink flush on the cheeks. That's what I think the makeup is at the moment, or at least in my world it is. I think
so too.
So
the most wearable makeup of the current time. I think so. Yeah.
So I don't love this. Like I wouldn't go out and spend the big bucks on it because I'm not like, I need this in my life. But if you were the kind of person that thought you'd use this every day and this is going to be your everyday palette, there's some merit to it. I think it looks nicer as I see more swatches and more sort of imagery. But
That's fair.
I'm not going to buy it. I'm just going to jump in while editing this. One thing that I've noticed from comments after filming this was that Natasha Denona apparently is claiming that this is now a clean beauty product, which she hasn't claimed in the past. So people are starting to get concerned that they're going to be spending quite a lot of money on these palettes that don't contain proper preservatives and will go off in a matter of months. So yeah, if you're interested in this face palette, I would recommend looking into what preservatives it has, but just be aware of that.
Another eyeshadow release along with a couple of other things, and it's actually a collaboration with Oden's Eye. This is the new Legendary Diversa series round 2. So we did see a series released a few years ago with a Fancy Face, Judy and Annette's makeup corner, and they're basically doing round 2. So we've got 3 eyeshadow palettes, each one created in collaboration with the relevant content creator, the YouTuber, beauty industry person. And there's also some lip products that go along with them. This is out now, so if you're interested in it, you can go and grab it.
All right, the last eyeshadow thing, I want this, but I don't think we're going to have access to it. I do want it. Look, it's ridiculous, but I'm like
let's chat about it.
Is it a magpie that wants, what bird?
I get it.
Whatever bird that wants shiny things. So this is from Too Faced. It's the Disco Crush Eye and Face Sparkle. Now you can put it as a highlighter, whatever, but mainly they show it demonstrated on the eye. So let's talk about it as an eyeshadow. This is part of the Fantasy Factory exclusive release. Now this sounds like what they're doing is bringing out limited edition batches of things, selling them, letting people try them, and then probably deciding based on feedback whether they make more of them. MAC had done this. What was the range that MAC?
Underground.
Yes, they would release 1,000 items in the US only, and that's where they had those lip glosses, those lip balms that they brought out recently with all different shades. They had the green one out years and years ago as a MAC Underground product. It was well received, so they decided to invest in the line. That's what I kind of feel like this is going to happen. Now, do I need this? No. Will I use it a lot? No. But there is something about a really sparkly, eyeshadow that I'm just like, I kind of want that. And I do wear sparkle on a daily basis, so I would wear this. I think this actually looks like it'll be prettier in person than what they can capture on camera. It sort of looks like a pink with a bit of a gold shift, which I do have plenty of those in my collection, but I like them. So yeah, I don't think this is coming to Australia. I think it's pretty. I kind of want it.
Yeah, question. Does the Too Faced website deliver to Australia? They don't.
No, because Mecca has exclusivity.
Mecca.
You bastards.
Fucking Mecca. Don't even get me started. All right, let's move on. This, I think, is interesting because Too Faced is owned by Estee Lauder. MAC is also owned by Estee Lauder. This might be their way of trying to garner some relevancy in the beauty community again. Look, the product itself, it's very pretty. They do make it look pretty, which tells me it's probably going to be prettier in person, am I right? And we love a good sparkly anything. Kat and I have loved it forever. Nothing's changed there. But I do wonder if, like, Too Faced they haven't released a whole lot in recent years, have they? Since they were purchased by Estee Lauder. And it feels like it's been a little bit redundant, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like they have released things, but it's sort of more same old where it's nothing sort of new where it's worthy of like going, oh, what's that new thing? It's always like just new shades of their plumping lip glosses,
existing
or
crap,
new boring palettes, or new holiday bullshit. Like, it's the same kind of thing. I actually think it wasn't when they were purchased by Estee Lauder. I think it's when Jared Blandino left.
Yeah,
I sort of feel like things have gone a little bit boring since then.
I think you're right on that.
I'm hoping that this is a way for them to start getting a little bit more innovative. Not that this is at all innovative. It's a sparkly eyeshadow, but like a lot of there are sparkly eyeshadows that people get very excited about, and I feel like this
that's what
it's an interesting path.
That's what I wanted to add as well. Going through my own makeup collection, a lot of the things that I've held on to for dear life over the years have been those really beautiful limited edition products that they have released knowing that they're not going to be widely wanted by every single person, but those people with their magpie eyes going are gonna like snap them up. And I still have them, and they're all very sparkly, beautiful things that you just don't want to let go of. So this could be fantastic for Too Faced. And I think it's probably just a way to like test the waters and be like, what's going to be popular and how can we sort of stay on the pulse of things? And I think they really do have to release innovative things. Not that this is innovative, as we've said, but yeah, they need
for their range anyway.
Yeah, for their range, I think they need to like step outside of the box.
Yeah, can I also say that it makes sense for them to release like glitter eyeshadows because they've got glitter glue that's awesome.
And so, of course, Jared was the first person to create a sparkly eyeshadow. Do you not remember?
Of course, I remember it's burnt into my memory.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah. I know.
But also, like from my experience, and I'm sure it's the same with you, Hayley, like we've tried a lot of Too Faced over the years.
Oh, yeah.
And
all of it.
From what I've noticed, their permanent releases can be really, really good. Their limited edition sort of holiday collaborations often fall really flat, but when they do release something that is designed to be part of their permanent range, it can be really, really good, and it can be very sad when they leave. Like, hello, what was that peach powder that left?
Oh yes, the what was that called? Was it Peach Perfect or something?
I think so, but that was a great powder. They should never have got rid of that. And their foundation from that range, like they've got so many cool things they brought out that were actually really good quality. So I'm hoping that they can bring some of that back, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, we're talking about one base product, and this is one that look. Sometimes brands that you don't really like, they can.
I know.
They can make you interested, and this is definitely one for me, to the point where I've looked at this online. It was available on the Morphe Australia website. I looked at it. I was like, do I spend shipping? And the reason why I wanted to review it, because I was like, this looks really interesting. The reason why I stopped is because I couldn't really pinpoint my shade online, and I thought I have to wait for it to be in store. But this is the new Lightform Extended Hydration Foundation. Now, this is available now in a lot of places.
Did it launch globally?
It did, but it was staggered. To be fair, it was actually staggered.
Yeah,
but staggered 2 weeks, not a whole month. So,
just
putting out their Mac. Anyway, the thing that makes me interested about this foundation, their claims are 2 years of development. 350 plus hours of lab work in Italy, 6 clinical tests and consumer focus groups, powerhouse hydro relief complex. So it's 15 ingredients formulated to hydrate and moisturize. And that, like, there's a lot of research, and you can tell that they've put a lot of effort into this, and the claims sound quite good. So this to me sounds like you could potentially get a fairly affordable foundation that have some of the higher end claims of what you'd get from a much more expensive foundation. Now, I don't know if that's the case. Yeah, I don't know if that's the case in terms of, is that actually going to be, is it going to work really well on the skin? I don't know, but I would put my money into testing this, which is unusual.
When I saw the claims on this, I have to agree that I also was like, I could buy this. I want to try it. I want to see what it's like. They're making big claims, and I want to know if it's good. I find this release fairly interesting because it's probably one of the biggest and most like R&D heavy releases that they're claiming. It's just their claim, since Morphe was essentially handed off to investors to like get rid of debt. So this has obviously been in the works for a really long time. And I'm interested. I'm interested for so many reasons, and I kind of want to try it.
I do too. I was looking online and I just couldn't find, like, I feel like some of the
How
light.
do you pick a shade?
Yeah, like the light and the sort of.
Go in store. Go in store.
Oh, yeah.
You can.
I can actually.
You'll have
just
to.
haven't had time because I've got kids and a job.
Yeah. Busy.
But I am interested. I if you asked me a month ago, would you be interested in trying a Morphe foundation release? I'd be like,
no.
Get the fuck out the door. No, I will not. But now I'm like, actually,
how dare you ask me that question? That's insulting. Yeah. No, I feel the same way as Kat on this one. Yeah, I'm intrigued. If you have tried it already, please let us know. Give us your full review in the comments. I want a novel.
Same. So do I.
All right, last thing. We're going to move on to Jo Malone. We're finishing off with a fragrance. She has released 3 new fragrances. So you can buy them in full-size bottles for $115 each, or you can buy them in a like little mini
sampler set.
Trial set. These, they look really nice, I'm just going to say. We've got Yellow Hibiscus Cologne. They say that this is beaming yellow hibiscus with a slice of lime and adding a burst of juiciness. I don't know what that means. But there's also rose and floral scents in there. We've got Sunlit Cherimoya. This one is topped with juicy pear, copaiba resin, and creamy tonka bean. I think that would be amazing. And then we have the one that rules them all, Yuzu Zest. So this is obviously going to be a yuzu citrus scent, and it also has woody depths of cedar and resin touch of fir balsam. Yum. I really like Jo Malone fragrances. A couple of years ago, they released a small selection and there was a citrus one in there. I found it in Mecca and I smelt it and I was like, holy moly, this is exceptional. And I didn't buy it. I went away and I thought, no, I'll think about it and I'll come back. And I thought about it and it stayed on my mind. And when I went back to buy it a few days later, gone. Couldn't find it anywhere in any retailer. Yeah. Yeah,
you can't sleep on these limited edition ones.
No, you
because
cannot.
I remember going and trying to find that citrus one and I went into Maya and the lady was like, no, it was literally put on the shelf a couple of days ago and they're all gone now. So,
and they're gone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so limited edition ones, especially if you love that sort of fragrance house, they go very quickly. I'm keeping my eyes out for these ones. I want to smell the yuzu one. I want to smell the whatever that first one was, the flower one with the lime. I want to spray myself with them. And if I like one, I'm walking out the door with one.
Yep.
After I pay for it.
The first one was yellow hibiscus.
Yes.
Yeah, I think...
Even the bottles, I'm like, that would look beautiful on my dresser.
Oh, absolutely. They're beautiful. And I think Jo Malone makes really nice fragrances as well. So if you're into it, don't sleep on it. Go and find them, smell them, and buy them at your earliest convenience.
I agree. Can I also say there's a fragrance that also interests me. I don't know where we get this in Australia, if we can, but it's like a strawberry fragrance.
Is this from Phlur?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's called Strawberry Letter. Oh, I want it. So it's cassis leaves, strawberry, plum, wild lily, red poppy, apple blossom. There's earthy woods, tonka bean, and sugared amber. I don't know where to buy this, but I also want to try that.
I want to smell it too. Yeah, I saw that one. I was like, oh, I have to do some research on where we can find it.
Yes, exactly right.
All right, guys. So that is going to wrap up beauty news for the month. Feel free to let us know your comments down in the comments section. It's yours and we do read it. We don't respond to everything though. If there's anything else that you saw released recently that you have thoughts about, feel free to share them. We'll read it. Until next month, or the next video, because we'll be back before next month. But we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.